Okay, Dame Nicole, how am I singing now? I'm using my phone because the internet here keeps sticking. Excuse me, that noise. So I have to go on. It's in now? It's on? Okay. Alright guys, I'm sorry. Technical difficulties here with the internet. It keeps sticking. So I'm back on. Once again, Nicole, are you hearing me clearly? Okay. Yes, okay, great. All right, I'm sorry guys. As I said before, I was getting a little problems with my internet here, so I'm using my phone. All right, so again, I want to say happy birthday to anyone celebrating the birthday in May month. We're just wrapping up this month with Mother's Day, with Mom. Stay tuned for June month. We will have fathers only. So we're celebrating all the fathers for June month. Alright? So again, June, happy birthday. May God bless you. Have a blessed and wonderful and safe day. Alright? Well, I did my prayers already, guys, so I'm not going to go back into that. I'm just going to give you my health tip. I started it, but then the internet started to stick. Okay, so 1, eat slowly. Did you know that eating too quickly can cause weight gain? According to research, faster eaters are more likely to be overweight as compared to people who eat more slowly. In one study, it was also suggested that this is a 115% more likely to happen in middle-aged women. As you eat, your body releases fullness hormones that tells your brain you have eaten and should stop. However, as this process takes about 20 minutes, speedy eaters may consume too much food and only the signal later, which explains the post-buffet bloat you may feel after a satisfying meal. The next time you are having a meal, make a conscious effort to eat slower and observe the effect on your appetite. Drink more water. You may have heard of the saying, drink 8 glasses of water a day, yet not many may actually follow this, often choosing to count their total liquid intake instead, which usually includes sodas, coffee, and other beverages. Yes, Nicole, that's very true. Yeah, your body isn't made up of soft drink and beer. However, depending on your age, about 60% of human body is made up of water. There are numerous benefits of drinking more water. It can help us take control our calories intake, energize our muscles, keep our kidney healthy, and hydrate the skin. I believe that, right? As you stay hydrated with water, you will also find yourself having fewer cravings and sugary or less healthy beverages. All right? Read nutritional labels. If weight loss is one of your health goal, make it a habit to read the nutritional label on your foods during grocery shopping. Look out for the total amount of calories a product contains and not just for one serving, which is typically what's stated on the label. Reading nutritional label will also help you to avoid only reading marketing labels like high in fiber, low fat, or zero sugar, as these labels may be misleading. While a product is high in calcium, it can also be high in sugar. That's correct. A detail you may have missed if you haven't read a nutritional label. Eat more fruits and vegetables. How much time we will hear that, right? A healthy survey of more than 65,000 participants found that people who ate the most portions of fruit or vegetables, 7 or more each day, had a 42% reduced risk of dying from any cause, compared to individuals who ate less than 1 portion a day. However, you may want to choose more fresh produce, as it was found that frozen and canned fruits can also increase the risk of dying by 17%. Need a tip on how you can add more fruits and vegetables into your diet? Buy some cut fruits after lunch and bring it in your workplace. The next time you are hungry, that fruit will be the closest and most convenient snack you will reach. That's correct. Quit smoking. Work out at least 3 times a week. According to the Active Health, right? Adults should engage in at least 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity each week. The reality, though, is that only 26% do so. Hitting these goals doesn't have to be difficult. You can try. Do more of an activity you have already doing. Picking up an activity you think you will be enjoying and start doing it. These can be small changes. For example, instead of walking with your dog, put on a running shoes and jog with the dog. And if you're already running twice a week, add a 3rd day to explore different routes at a relaxing and enjoyable pace, right? And another last important tip is to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Now, I know that is impossible, especially for working people. I know that we try to get that amount of sleep, but it doesn't happen. But especially like us who gets up early in the morning, we work I get up 4:30 every morning, and I get ready for work. So time I come home, I really do need to go to bed because my body tells me that. So I try to be in bed by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. By 9:30, I try to take the television off and go to sleep, But your body needs that rest. The rest. Once you get that, and you wake up early and go to bed late. I just get 7 hours on average. Okay, then no worries with 7. 7 is good. If you can't get 8, at least 6 to 8, they say, right? Because I think, our body normally tells you to when you're tired. And then sometimes, you see people with bags underneath the eyes and stuff. That is because they don't get enough rest, right? So our bodies have to get that. All right? So my word of today or this week is senite. Senite from the time is unusual in that it is compound of 2 doubles or words sharing a root that calls into a language through different pathways, as we learn from a recent word of the day. All right, so my word for today is senite. S-I-N-S-Y-N-E. Senite. That's my word of the week. Again, you could use folks have desenite and been buried and are forgotten, and brains been born and got brains. So yeah, senite. All right. So that's my health tip. I'm supposed to have 2 guests joining me just now to talk about, just finishing up on our parenting skills, Mother's Day and stuff. Okay, guys. Swag 2022. This is Swag 4. It will be on June the 18th. Early bird tickets are $60 more at the door. Tell a friend, share, and you know, you can repost. You can go on my page. It's shareable. I also have a rhythm section is going to join us. I also have some artists passing through for $60. You can't go wrong. It's all you can eat and drink. Finger food preferably. And yes, you're going to get drinks with this $60. Again, if you don't get your early bird ticket, you're going to pay more at the door. All right, guys? So this is, again, the day before Father's Day. We're going to be in the backyard. Tickets have all the information. It's on my Facebook page. It's on my Instagram. Hit me up. I'm the only one have tickets. Physical tickets I have. All right? So tell a friend. Bring the dad. Bring your boyfriend if he's a dad. If you have a son and he's a dad, we just vibes in, all right? And guys, you know, I always do special giveaways for best dress, male and female, and we have a runner-up. So you know how we do it at Swag, for those that have attended, all right? So ticket sales are going pretty good too, so we'll be hanging anyway, right? So yes, guys. So, how have everybody been so far? Good afternoon, Afia. How you feeling? Are you okay? Yes, we were talking about getting. Thank you, Jolene. Jolene, thank you for logging in. You know, with us. We were talking about getting enough sleep. Some of us, we don't get enough rest. And, you know, we need to drink a lot of water and different things. The body asks for that, you know. So, yeah. So, I have two guests here, and we're just going to sit down and chat about, you know, mothers and stuff, all right? So, give me a moment. Good afternoon, Kelly. Good afternoon. Yeah. Come now. Sit down. Yeah. So we have Katrina and we have Niam here. Again, I told you guys I'm on location in Orlando, Florida. We came for Orlando Carnival. And what better time we have now to, you know, close off May month, just celebrating mothers. And we're going to just chat with them for a while. Everybody seeing us? Okay. All right, good. All right, good.
Yes, okay.
Daniel seeing us? Okay, good. The internet was only sticking on the iPad, so they couldn't see everybody now. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with Nayan first. Nayan, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Nyanaba. I've been friends with Phyllis for numerous years. I've known her for a long time. She's an amazing person, as you guys all know. So I am honored, truly honored that she blessed me with this opportunity.
Yes.
To speak. I am very shy, but I'll try and get through it.
Yes. Well, Naim, you know, this program is all about each one teach one. And I would just like to ask you a couple questions, nothing too hard, you know, especially on parenting and stuff. Now, what is one of the most instrumental teaching you can remember your mother passing down to you?
There have been so many. Let's see, what is a good one? Always about well, you know, the old school teaching is always respect. There's a lot of respect.
Right.
manners. When you come in a room, you say good morning, whatever.
Yes.
The whole idea of speak when spoken to.
Right.
Make sure your bed is made up before you leave.
Yes.
Things of that nature.
Yeah.
That you're trained.
So those are some of the things that stick out most.
Yes, because if they come and they catch certain things out of order, you have to answer to that.
Right.
They train you to know better.
Right. And as a mother, how has it been for you? Are you a single parent? Are you married? How is that journey?
It's an amazing journey. First of all, being a mother, it's really an amazing journey from the inception of carrying and then bringing forth that child out
Yes.
of the womb. It's really a totally great experience.
Yes.
And then, of course, you have all the little road humps and bumps in raising the children.
Right.
Raising my son, particularly. We have had amazing times. We've gone everywhere, done so many different things. I kept him engaged in a lot of activities.
How old is him?
He's 29 now.
Okay. And have you had any challenging, or would you change anything?
I don't believe I would, because the road we have traveled, is good for him as well, educational wise.
Right.
He'll carry it into his adulthood when he becomes a parent.
Right.
A lot of it probably wouldn't resonate now, but when he becomes that parent, he'd be like, "Oh, mom, this is mom, that.
Right.
This is what happened. This is why it happened." So I think they're more understanding of it. Of course, you do have the battles of I don't want to do this, or I don't want to, the rebellious type of period of time.
Yes.
You have that rebellious time.
Yes.
But all in all, once the foundation is strong,
Right.
they'll sway a little bit, but
Yeah.
they come right back.
Yeah. I think that is important too, because with my son, they tend to have their way, but then when they grow older, they tend to realize and appreciate our teaching for them to go forward.
Yes.
So I think that is
understand.
always good, that when we have good kids. I know we have, sometimes we have challenging children and situations also, right?
Yes.
But Chetty is saying my mom was such an awesome and amazing mother. Yes, Chetty, I know your mom. May God rest her soul. She passed away last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So he just
Condolences.
having a hard time still, and it would be very hard for him because he and his mom were very, very close.
Yes.
So Chetty,
Yes.
our hearts and prayers are with you, hoping that God give you the strength, right?
You hang in there. It'll take a little minute, but you hang in there.
Yeah,
Because when we lost our mom, it took us years.
Exactly.
yeah. So what is one advice you have for any young person watching our program now, Niam, that you can give? What you think they need right now? Because the children of today are different,
Totally, yes,
yeah.
yes.
So what you think that you could tell them?
One of the really key things is, again, respect. Respect of your parents.
Elders.
That goes such a long way. Yeah, you may have your own opinions or things, but you have to be very respectful of your parents. And it plays in so many different areas. Even in your work world, it eventually shows there as well. Because one of the things that I've admired, that I've always heard over and over with my son, and whatever areas of jobs he's worked in, they always say, you have such a mannerist, you have such a son that's full of manners. He's a happy person. He motivates others. Whether he realizes it or not. But I get a lot of good feedback
right,
on his behavior.
And then children of today need that type of
Yes.
feedback also,
Yes.
right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Niam, that wasn't so hard, right? Okay.
And she went flowing.
Yes. So we will move to Katrina now.
Yes. I must say thank you so much, Phyllis.
You're welcome.
This was an amazing experience.
Yes, it was. Everybody who I talk to is camera shy. But when they get on to Motivational Monday, they realize it's a breeze. You know what I mean? It's nothing that difficult. It's just, ladies hanging and we just chilling and we going with the flow. You know what I mean?
Yes. yes.
Good
Absolutely.
night, Juanita. Yes, I had some internet problems, so that's why I put it on my phone now. But thank you again for logging back in. All right, so we'll go now to Katrina. So, hi, Katrina, darling.
Good night, Phyllis.
Good night, good night. So, Katrina, you know, we honoring mothers, and we're trying to finish up now on with a bang with mothers. I celebrated mothers for the whole month of May. I don't think Mother's Day is one day. I think Mother's Day is supposed to be every day.
So
You
true.
understand?
Every day, yes.
So, how has your mom been instrumental to you?
Oh, my mom has been extremely instrumental in my upbringing and my way of, well, I should say, my maturity of getting to this stage of the game in my life. She, even though she was married, she kind of more or less, with the father working, she was more like a housewife. She actually raised 5 of us.
Right.
And I truly, truly agree with a lot what Nyan says as far as manners, being respectful and being mannerly, always just being able to function in that aspect, and the same types of things, the little things that they teach you. And we always talk about it and we laugh with this manners. Certain things they say like manners make it man.
Right.
And when you wake up in the morning, you must say your prayers, make up your bed and do all these things.
Yes.
And with those things, you take it into your adult life and then you take it into your children's life, having
Right.
children.
Yes.
So you bring them up in the same way.
Yes.
I am very, very strong-willed as far as training a child, that old saying, training a child in which
They should supposed to grow and they'll never
and
depart
later
from you.
when
Yes.
they get older. And I think that that's what she did, with the little things, the little instrumental things that she's done in my life.
Right.
So
Good.
yes.
So I know that you are a mom, a grandmom.
Yes.
What are some of the qualities that you would like to pass on to your grandchildren?
Okay. Everything in life is achievable, right? My main thing is in the day and time that we're living in, it's very important for us to focus and have God. There's a God. For all those who doesn't want to acknowledge or don't want to think it, there is a God. When you go
Yes.
back and you check a lot of things that's happening, when you check, like I have a daughter that's a nurse, and she herself has said, it's such a phenomenal thing like human life.
Right.
When you see the challenges, the ins, the outs, when the body malfunctions one way and it compensates the other.
Right.
So you know that there's no man can do something like that.
Right. Right.
So I want them to know that there's a God. I want them to be God-fearing, believing in God.
Right.
And I want them to be always honest and polite and kind. And those things go a long way. It's things that you cannot buy.
Right.
It's things that you have to instill and teach. You
Right.
know? So
Yeah.
those are the things I want them to grow
So
with.
with the now generation children, they are different. How have the social media or games or different things you find is influencing the young children of today?
It is influencing them a lot. I have a grandson and he's 12. But there are times when I go in, like on a weekend, there's certain things that I don't tolerate. Like I would say, okay, so Saturday could be yours. You can do what you want. But Sundays, I want you to read a book.
Right.
We give him books to read.
Right.
And then, it's church. And I said, you go to school all week.
Right.
And you're doing all what you want to do. Give me your Sunday. And let's go to church. Come back, read a book, and just let's hang out. So I try to break him away from those type of this social media. He's not into that much of it. He's
Very
the
good.
gaming.
Very good.
He's into that, but he listens.
Right.
So we talk to him, and he understands that this is not real life, and it could absorb them into thinking that this is a reality when it's not.
Yeah.
So I kind of cut his time on the gaming.
I think that's very good, because if you have noticed too, Naam, with the Buffalo shooting a couple weeks ago,
Yes.
the young man that
Yes.
came out of his car and he was targeting African Americans,
Yes,
and the style in which he came out the car and started to shoot. I saw that when my son used to play these shooting games like Grand Theft Auto,
yes.
that is how he was
gun was
targeting,
playing around.
these people. And that's why I asked you to the video games that they use I think that parents need to have a more control
monitor on it,
and
yes.
monitor the kids when watching these types
How long they
and
do
how
these
long
things, the time they
yeah,
take
and they
to-
must have a cut-off time.
Yes.
9 o'clock you should not be playing no game,
video game, not
no,
even
not
on the
phone,
phone,
or
depending on the
anything.
ages
Yes,
or whatever,
yes.
you know.
Yeah, I think
So
a lot of parents, especially young parents, tend to
Yes.
push that off on the kids because they
it's
don't
the
want to be bothered.
babysitting mechanism,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
And it's very, very important for us to be on top of our children. No one is saying you have to crowd your space. I know everybody's an individual and they need their space, but it's important for us to be instrumental along those ways, guiding them, talking to them, making time for them, going back to the old-fashioned way.
Even with your grandkids.
Even with my grandkids, yes, I do the same.
Because a co-worker of my own, he brought his 2 kids up to work the other day, and I saw them take out a book and was reading.
Yes.
And these normal day children don't do that.
do it.
They're facing the phone. They have no communication skills.
Absolutely.
The parents just whatever
Whatever is
give them an
whatever.
iPad, give them a phone, and shut them up.
Yes.
But I was so amazed that I'm so happy that you're keeping that tradition with letting them know the values about reading.
Yes,
And
very
reading is
important.
fundamental.
Yes, very, very
with education too.
Yes, yes.
So how has
Absolutely.
it been? I know that you help your kids out with your grandchildren, picking
I
them up,
do.
going to soccer and different things.
Going to school,
Tell us a
yes.
little about that. What you enjoy with him, the bonding time, because I
Yeah,
see.
and that's exactly what it is.
Go ahead.
It's the bonding time. I did it with my children also too. Taking them, my daughter used to run track, and my son used to play basketball. And I always during work. I mean, we spend most of our week time with other people at a job.
Right.
But when I came home, from the time I came in the house and I saw my children, if I'm on the phone and my phone ring or whatever, I would say, listen, I'm home now. I need to spend some time with my children. Because they were in school, I was at work. And I think those things are very important, very instrumental in the way we raise our children. And now my son turns around and does the same thing. If I come into the house and he's on the phone, he would say, oh, my mom, let me chat with my mom, or
Right.
whatever. So it is so important to have that talk time, because our children at some point in time, they lose that communication type of skill
Yes,
if we
yes,
don't
yes,
instill it in them.
yes.
They don't want to talk, they want to text, they want
Yeah,
to this.
yeah.
I'm not into the texting, and they used to laugh at me because they will text me something just to see. And then I'll pick up the phone and tell his sister, watch, I'm going to text mom and make sure she calls. And then the both of them will just start laughing. So it's
Right.
so
'Cause
important.
you're old school.
Exactly. It's so important. I like the talking. I feel that it's more impactful, more personal than, anything else. So we need to spend that time with our children, grandchildren, the bonding. I take my grandkids to school. I mean, I used to take I have 2, my oldest one, my grandson.
Yeah.
And when we're driving on the Bell Parkway, at times it's a little dark, and he's looking at the moon, and he's like, Grandma, look at the moon, it's still out.
Right.
Because it's really early in the morning.
Right.
And I said, soon, driving, soon it's going to disappear, then you're going to see the sun coming out. And he said, but where is the moon going? And I would say, well, it's going to another country. It's going to get ready, because, the time zones are different.
Yes.
So when it's night, or even if it's morning in the US here,
Yeah.
it's
It's
night
day.
somewhere
Yeah, yeah,
else,
yeah. Yeah.
So we had those little conversations, and those are the things that he remembers,
Yes.
and I remember, and it's just so important, so
Yes.
important, the communication and the bonding.
Hello, Jason. Nicole is saying communication is a must.
A must, exactly. A must, and also making sure that your children, like Nayanaba said, that they are so obedient and they listen, Because also too, traveling on the trains, you see and you hear so much.
Right.
That these young kids, we could not even curse, and that was one of the things
Yes.
growing in the
Yes,
West. We
yes,
could
right?
not
No, we
curse.
couldn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Those words that these kids use now, we didn't dare. We didn't dare.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's exactly,
Yes,
and it's just the
exactly.
respect we gave to our elders.
I say that again. Respect.
Respect is important. So your communication, your respect, it takes nothing for you. We were talking about that today, guys, remember?
Yes.
Nothing for you to walk into a room and say good morning,
Yes.
good evening, good night.
Yes.
Forget about who answers or who don't answer. You do it because this is what you're supposed to do. My mother used to say, good morning, good night doesn't belong to you. It belongs to God.
And
right?
I
truly, truly believe that. And sometimes it breaks the ice. It breaks the ice. You walk into a room because everybody would sit there and just look at everybody. But you walk in and say, good morning, good night. And it was like, good morning, good night. And you know, like a conversation starts immediately.
Right.
Mightn't be everybody, but someone, you know?
Right.
And sometimes these little things make a difference in someone's day.
Right. Yes, I think so too.
Yes.
How has parenting been for you?
Oh
Well,
my.
I know that the kids grew up with the dad and everything, but have you had any challenges or you enjoy being a mom? Because you have mother and you have mother, eh?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I love parenting. For me, it wasn't, well, in a way it was a little challenge here and there, because even though their father was always around in my life, the children always came to me. No matter what it is, they would come to me. I don't know if it's the softer side, because I would sit them down and I would talk and I would explain things, you know.
Right.
So parenting for me, it had its ups and downs, because as the children started to get older, again, like Nayanaba said, they wanted to do their own thing. And you're old school and you don't understand this and you don't understand that. You know, but as they got older, they appreciated all the things I did. My son wanted to go to a party. It was like, my daughter was the older one.
Right.
So if she's going to a party, she couldn't go unless my son went. He was 2 years younger than her.
Right.
So when I'm taking, I said, if ask your friend or the mother, and I always wanted to know who is, and I didn't go to the children.
Right.
If my daughter came and said, oh, mom, my friend is having a birthday party, can I go? I said, tell the mother to call me. Or
Right.
give me the mother's number.
Right.
And I would deal directly with the parents. So I
Right.
never left it up to my children to make a decision about anything while they were growing up.
Nice.
I always intervened, and I said,
that's the problem
exactly.
parents have today, eh?
You have to know who
Yes.
your children's friends are, who
Yes.
their parents are, and that's
Yes.
what I did. And I dropped, no matter where I was, what I did, I dropped everything. I dropped my children and I picked them up.
Right.
I dropped in the mornings, my husband picked up in the evenings.
evenings.
Or if it was vice versa, we always made time
For the
the
kids.
children. But if you're a person who is a single parent, you still have to work your schedule in such a way that it's important to do the same. Figure out a way. I understand that we have to work. If we don't work, sometimes we can't pay our bills.
Right.
I understand, but you always have, they say in the Caribbean, it takes a village.
Yes.
So you'll still have to try and find an auntie or an uncle or, you know, someone, a sister, a brother, or grandmother, a grandparent
Yes.
that can assist. You know, but it's important to let those children be secure.
Yes.
You know, my mom used to say just this one thing, like, she said, children don't care how they dressed and what they eat and what they don't eat.
Right.
But they care about seeing their parents, you sitting down and talking to them, because they know whatever you eat, they'll eat.
Right.
So the fact that the bonding is with the communication, you and your children.
Right.
That is very important.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me hold it up.
Right, you know, like trying to picking them up from school and dropping them off to school and wherever they have to go, whether it's swimming, it's soccer, my grandson plays soccer, it's tennis, it's whatever. Make the time. It's important. Our children needs that time. It may not be a lot of time,
Right.
but even if it's a 5 minute, 10 minute, sit down and you chat with them, how you doing, how was your day, you know. Is everything okay? You want to tell me anything? You want to talk to me? Make sure you're hugging them. It's important to hug and let them know you love them.
Caribbean
every
people
day.
have a problem with showing
Exactly,
affection.
every day. And that was one of the things I learned from my mom. It was always a hug, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you. You know, so it is important for our children to know we love them. We can't just, you know, just drag them and get them, and, you know, you have to learn to tell them you love them, you care about them, and you want to know what's going on. You know?
What do you think about education?
Education is very important, and that was one of the things I told my children. You know, we have this way of, everybody doesn't have to go to school and everybody doesn't have to go to college.
Right.
I agree with that to an extent, but what schooling does for you in college, it's not just about schooling and college.
Right.
It prepares you for work.
Right.
It prepares you to enter into a working environment, a job. You have to get up in the morning. If you're working, like a lot of kids say, oh, I don't need this, I could just work.
Right.
But you still have to get up to get up on time, because if you don't get up on time, the employer is going to fire you.
Yes.
So you still have to get up and do that. And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're not going to get paid.
Good.
Plus, if you decide that you're not going to get this United States bears a lot of, I don't want to say response, but a lot of, the word that I want to say is like, education is important. They don't care if you get a undergrad degree, a bachelor's degree.
Right.
They just want to know you have
Something.
right? And that's the only how you can consider yourself competitive
Right.
in a work environment, or else you'll find yourself working hours and hours and hours on end to make the kind of money that someone with an undergrad, a bachelor's degree, associate degree, a master's, some one of them
Right.
in the job market, because these people, they consider they're putting their time.
Yes.
They went to school and they got these degrees, but you did not put that time in and going to a job, you're going to find yourself working in the lower echelon of jobs,
So
and it makes it difficult.
So to that question, these nowadays children think high school is, when they finish high school, that's it.
No.
Yeah.
It is important. Listen, the police department, at one point in time, they used to hire the police department, solicit people to work the police department right after high school. You could take the test, blah, blah, blah. Now it's a mandatory requirement. They have to have a 2-year degree. You understand? Because it's all training.
Right.
Even though you may say, oh, I'm not getting nothing from it, you are getting something from it. There's a lot of basic classes or courses that you have to
do.
take.
Yes.
It's a liberal arts type of curriculum, and they teach you all kinds of, it's math, it's science, it's so many different things that you may think you don't need, but it can help. So I strongly believe in that our young children should pursue a college degree. Yes. I feel that that's very, very important. Regardless of, it have people who say school is not for everybody and college is not for everybody.
Right.
I strongly don't believe in that. I don't believe in it because, some of us have fell into certain criteria. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I look down on people like that. I don't.
Right.
But I'm saying our children that's up and coming now that knows better. And I feel like there's so much more so much more of an opening there. They're allowing us to do this, to take the loans to do this, and the loan forgiveness. There's so many ways that we can get in there and just get that education just to be competitive,
Yes.
So I feel it's a very important criteria for our high schoolers.
Very good.
After high schoolers.
Happy birthday, June. Good night. She's saying good night, ladies. Today's
Good
June's
night.
birthday.
Happy
went
birthday,
back. Remember,
honey.
she
was with us. Yeah, she left Saturday night. Yeah.
Enjoy your birthday.
Enjoy. God bless.
Yes.
And I hope you live to see many, many, many more.
Yeah. So Nicole is saying, or some type of trade to fall back on.
Right, exactly.
Because with COVID, we saw that a lot of people who had trade wasn't getting job, work or different things like that because everything had shut down. And only the persons who had 9-to-5 job had a job still to go back to. Yeah. So,
I think like nursing and there's certificate programs for nursing and CNAs and that type of field, and even for our technical people. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a 9-to-5. Learning a trade, plumbing, carpentry, all those different. There's certificate programs, and they offer them in colleges. New York City Technical School offer these courses, and once you go in and you do, might be a 2-year degree. I think they went 4 years now. New York Tech, I think, used to be a 2-year college, but they went. I think you could do 2 years or you could do 4. But what I love about schools like that, which our children, that's what I'm saying. There's so much opportunities. Jobs.
Nice.
City jobs are very important. Because your benefits. No one gets you out of those positions. And you have to be really, really doing badly, for them to get you out. They're union jobs. They pay good. People say, oh, they don't pay. But you always have to look at the longevity of.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. You may not get the high paying salaries. But, a lot of times the old time saying, you got to learn to crawl before you walk. It gets you there, and it's jobs that when you get into them, they can't get you out. They don't get you out. You have sanitation, and they all offering all these things, and they offer you even while you're there. They offer even if you go from high school and you take these exams, which is something I did with my son. When my son works with transit now, he's a supervisor.
Right.
But what I did when he was in college, I used to find all the exams, police department, correction department. There was one for I think sanitation.
Yes.
I pulled all the exams, even this transit he's doing, and I made him take the exams. And he used to say to me, but why are you doing this? Why are you letting me do this? I said, because I'm giving you a choice.
Right.
Because a lot of times, even after you come out of college, I understand that it might be hard to find a job in whichever avenue you may decide to focus on. So I said to him, I said, just in case, you know, you have something to fall back on. You might come out of college, get a job, but it mightn't be something that you like or whatever.
Right.
But these exams, they take a while before they call you. Take the exam,
Yes.
you pay the filing fee, and sometimes you're on a list for like 3 to 4 years, and by the time they hit the 3-year mark or so, they're calling you for a job.
Yes,
You
yes.
know? And also with all this COVID, a lot of people in the city is retiring.
Yes.
There's a lot of older folks that's been there for
Yes.
and that's what I'm trying to say, the benefits. There's so many older folks there that was in these city jobs.
Yes.
So if you guys can just go on the internet, Google jobs for the city, and you see they're pulling in a lot of
Yes.
people. Bus drivers is like they're just giving these exams. I had my son give me like a listing. It was like exam after like every month or so they were offering New York City Transit for the bus drivers, because you guys know a lot of people, a lot of bus drivers
Yes.
died during
Yes,
COVID.
yes.
And then because of that, a lot of older ones who's been there for years and years and years retired.
Yes.
You know? So the jobs are out there, and those are jobs that you don't necessarily have to have a college degree. But if you could do the college degree for yourself, but you don't necessarily get out there, go online, research, get your exams in. The filing fee is way worth it, and just file exam after exam while you're doing whatever else you're doing.
Doing to make ends meet. Yeah.
You know?
Right. Any last final thoughts?
I just want our children. We need to be just mindful of everything that's going on and everything that's taking place, right?
Right.
Stay focused. You have to be focused. And always, first and foremost, keep God in your life. Every morning, thank Him, regardless of what you may go through or going through. Thank Him. Just thank Him for His mercy. Because by the grace of by His grace, we're up every day.
Yes.
We're not the ones pulling the string, it's Him.
Yes.
When we wake up in the morning, we have to say thank God, because when you think about it for yourself, about a hospital, as I say, well, my son works at Transit, my daughter's a nurse. And when you hear the things, I mean, day to day, it's a sad thing. So be grateful, be thankful, always. You understand? And it takes you a long, long way.
Yes. Thank you so much, Katrina. Nayam, anything in your closing?
You know, to what Katrina said.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, all of those things
Yeah.
universe is what's needed.
Yeah.
And especially in these times, you see where the children really, really need the hugs and the love.
Yes.
Because
Because-
something is missing
Yes.
right there while
Yes.
these things are
They're
happening.
happening.
Yes.
Yes.
So we just have to stop and examine what is missing.
Yes.
What is
Yes.
that they don't have?
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The simple thing that you don't need to make any big prayers. It's simply be our Father.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
all it needs.
Yes. Yes.
That
And-
could be found in Matthew.
Yeah.
I forget what it is, Matthew 6 or Matthew 11.
Yeah.
It tells you in the Bible too about prayers and how to
pray. Yeah.
And in Matthew, it tells you, like Jesus said, you can pray by saying the Our Father who art in heaven. Right?
Yes.
So go back and review it. It's somewhere in Matthew. I'm not quite sure
Yeah.
which chapter. I think it was either 6 or 11, because my brother had called me and asked me about it.
Yeah.
But it's there.
So
You know?
Nicole is saying here, without God, we are hopeless.
Yes, amen
You
to
know,
that.
and Bonita is saying prayers are so important.
Very important.
You know,
And
Very
the respect
important.
of one of the things that Katrina mentioned, well, that's how we grew up. It
Yeah.
takes the village to raise
a
the
children.
child. Yeah.
Because we can't do it up here in this country. It's
Can't do it by
really
yourself.
difficult.
You can't do it by yourself.
You can't do it by yourself.
No.
You have 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
have to take the children out of the cold, or even if they're of age, they got to find a bus and go and buy the cold. Back in our country, neighbors right around everywhere is there. So when you go out to
Exactly.
work, they'll see the children.
Yeah.
And you can't do nothing wrong in front of them. because
No.
Exactly.
No.
you don't
Yeah.
want the repercussions of that. Because
Yeah.
not from one person, it's like
Exactly.
the whole village.
Because I had a niece told me last week that she living in the generation of vipers. You understand? So when I have respect for my mom or my sisters, them, this generation don't respect nobody. And that is disturbing when people could speak these
like
kind
that.
of words
Yes.
coming out of their mouth. It shows you that the type of children
that we
we have and the living with and the thinking. That's why most of them in Texas too, with all the children that they murdered, another young 18-year-old who just have no regard for life.
Amen
and,
to that.
and probably if he had learned something from his elders, which I think he did, but he was premeditating.
Yes.
You understand?
But he's the one that shot
his grandmother too.
Yes.
Could you imagine? So these are the children that we're dealing with, and we have to pray. We have to pray for
it's
them.
important.
You
That's
know,
why it's
and the
important
Lord
to let them know. Prayer is essential, very essential. And you know, people, I just want a little interjection. Take a look at, as Phyllis said, our children. It's this generation. I mean, when we were growing up, people this age, 19, 20, didn't die as rampant as what we're seeing now. So you gotta know that there's something going on. People, please just take stock of it. Learn to pray. Praying is essential. When you pray to God, it's through Jesus Christ. He says He's the one. He's the way. He's the truth. He's the life. Right?
Yeah, yes.
Nothing goes to the Father except through Him. Jesus.
Yes.
Right? So prayers is important. And like Phyllis said, it doesn't have to be a long drawn out stuff. I say prayers. That's the prayer I say with my grandson every morning.
Yes.
He's sleeping. I'm waking him up to go to school. I kneel down at the side of his bed and I'm holding his hands. And I say the Our Father. And then there's another one. Then after I asked him to cover, then I say, now I wake and see the light. God has kept us through this night, and I personalize it, you know.
Yes.
Keep us now, Lord, I pray. Help and guide myself, my grandson, my husband, my children.
Yes.
And I go through the line and I said, the whole family, this whole place.
Yes.
Just keep and guide us through this day, you know.
Yes.
So simple. In Jesus' name, amen. Simple things.
Yes.
And then just thank you for another day. Once you could roll out that bed,
Yes.
you need to be thankful. It's important.
Yes.
Okay.
Jamal is saying so true. Different generation.
Yes,
You know?
no respect. And that's what it is, because they're not showing the elders respect. It says it in the Bible too. You know? You have to respect. Children, respect your father and your mother, so that your days in this land will be long.
Yes.
So those are the things that we need to reflect on.
Yes.
Right? So when you look around and you see these young kids, we talk about it all the time. We didn't used to see people, young people die, shootings, mass shootings. It's just a lot. It's a lot to swallow, especially when you have young kids.
Yeah.
You know, so please keep it in mind here. It's important. Pray over your children every morning, every night.
Yes.
Cover them.
Yes.
Just ask God to just, in your name, Lord, Jesus, just cover my children. When they go out, when they come in, you just pray and just thank God, day in and day out. Important.
Yep. Yes. Guys, there you have it. You see how fast our hours go, guys? It's already 9 o'clock. I just want to thank Katrina for hanging with us. Naam, thank you so much.
We
guys.
thank you for giving us the opportunity. Yes.
You see,
always willing to help and always willing to guide.
We're closing off this month. I told you it was Mother's Day, and we celebrated Mother all through May month. So next month, guys, God's willing, June month, we have Father's Day. So I'm bringing on the men. Only men will be talking and letting us know how it has been, the trials, the mothers that don't want the fathers to see the children, holding that against them as a weapon, and we're going to talk to some fathers. I have plenty single fathers too out there that, will come on and share their stories so we could learn and know that we're not in this fight alone. We have single mothers too, it's same thing, so I try to honor the single parents and the mothers, especially for May month. So thank you so much, guys, for logging in. Again, this is Motivational Monday with Phyllis, where each one, we just have to show love and just know God is good and He's able. Amen. All right? Yes. Have a blessed, wonderful, and safe week. Peace out. Next week, I'll give away a swag ticket. All right? See you guys.